and run, Gregory Arthur Bergman.
So according to Ramona Shelburne, a new article from Ramona Shelburne, our own Momo, Farhan, Zaidi, and Andrew Friedman, two key executives with the Los Angeles Dodgers, have begun playing advisory roles with the Los Angeles Lakers as part of the ownership transition from the Buss family to Mark Walter. Multiple sources told ESPN this is exactly what they should be doing.
Cappy, it's like they were listening to you, you know?
Well, it's interesting, Clinton. We were having this conversation earlier, and you know, people seem to be, I don't know if surprised is the right word, that the two Buss brothers that people think have done a solid job, that these two guys got whacked. I think people are more surprised not about the fact that they got fired from their jobs, which is not a big shock. I mean, the family sold the team for $10 billion. They can take their money and run.
But more importantly, those two guys voted against the sale.
Well, that's what has been reported. And so if that's true, which I think it is, if those two guys voted against the sale, then the guy who bought the team is like, hey, you and you, get out. But I think what was most shocking, if you will, are these family dynamics where the brother comes out and yesterday tells Shams, and Shams reports it while George is sitting there with him on the desk, which is, we all got whacked and she saved herself, intimating that Jeannie was willing to sacrifice her family to keep her own job.
Pretty stable. Just say, hope this works out the way they want it to.
This is the best thing for the Lakers. This is by far the best thing you can do for the Lakers. They're in an advisory role. They're not running it because they're baseball people. You look like you're thinking this is weird.
Advisory role?
So
they're not running things? They also said that Jeannie would be in an advisory role and could keep all the people she wanted.
No. They're going to come in and they are going to
Why would you want them there at all if they're in an advisory role?
No. You bring them in because they are going to make wholesale changes.
AKA not an advisory role.
Right. So they're advising the things to do, but then they're going to go back to Dodgers. Or maybe Andrew Friedman could be like we were talking about earlier, where he has like the Kevin Demoff role, where he is in charge of kind of everything, not just the Dodgers. But they're bringing the people that are the smart people in the room for the Dodgers. They're taking those smart people and putting them in the Laker front office. That's a good thing for the Lakers.
Well, wait a second. Clinton seems
no longer a Mickey Mouse
very,
operation.
Upset about
that.
I'm not upset about
not
it.
upset.
Again, you guys use that word in all the wrong ways. Like when you asked me about Star Wars the other day, and I just told you what I thought. And you're like, I think I pissed him off. Like, no, I'm not upset. I got the best job in the world.
I don't get from you upset. I get from you my version of what I'm interpreting from you is skeptical.
No, the chaos continues. That's all. No big deal. You know what I'm saying?
So
it's the Lakers
this is
being
an
the Lakers.
anti-bus thing.
No, it's not an anti-anything thing. It's just, again, when this works out and I start seeing more rings, let me know. That's all. It's just funny how the timing was hilarious. Like, let's be real. LeBron comes back and, again, has the greatest double-double in the history of the NBA. 2 days later, everybody gets whacked. And you're like, okay, I guess that's how we're doing this. What happened? Because when the Buss brothers had their, they had their venture announcement. Was it 3 months ago by now, Greg? Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay, they'll be moving out in a timely manner. We're going to all, everybody's going to file out in the way that makes sense. With, we're not going to all stagger out like a bunch of hobos, as Joe Pesci said in Goodfellas. And then actually, no, on a Thursday, it's like, oh, you're all gone. Whoa. What happened is what I want to know. That's the Momo story I need. What went down in El Segundo that all of a sudden meant that everybody had to go? That's what's most interesting about this to me.
But I think that when you look at the guys that we're talking about, and specifically Andrew Friedman, he's the name that everybody knows. When you look at what Andrew Friedman has done with the Dodgers, I don't think anybody expects Andrew Friedman to walk into the Lakers and go, well, we should get this player or we should get rid of that player. I don't think it's a basketball team thing. He's a baseball expert, a baseball executive. He knows how to build baseball teams. You might say, well, he can transfer analytics from baseball to basketball. There are sports executives that have moved from baseball to football and football back to baseball. It's not – so I guess from an analytic perspective, maybe Andrew Friedman brings something to the table. But I think that from his perspective, it's more about the front office. Like, what do the Dodgers do? Here's an example, right? The Dodgers are the only team in baseball. I know we've had this conversation. The Dodgers are the only team in baseball that has two airplanes that travels the team, right? One airplane are the players, and one airplane is everybody else. So the players have their own plane. They've got their own space. They're private. Are these, and I say little, are these the types of things that the Dodgers say, we got to run the Lakers more like the Dodgers. We got to run the Lakers more like a top-level, money-doesn't-matter organization? Because it hasn't. The Lakers have not been run like that. They've been run like a dysfunctional family organization.
It's a good question, but there's structural limitations that make that different. Number one, the NBA's player pool is just 10 times smaller. So the idea that you can just spend all the money you want, develop all the way that you choose to, is just a different thing. So, from, as you say, the analytics standpoint, the reason why this is most sort of weird to me is that, like, what's the point of getting rid of everybody? Like, in the middle of the season. That's not sure what I'm understanding. Like, if you're so smart, and I'm not being flippant here, I'm saying that if you're the kind of a person that goes into a scenario, let's just say in any situation, and you say, okay, we're trying to rebuild something here. This is what's been working. These are the brain trust of the folks that have been here. And I'm not even saying necessarily at the top. And then you're trying to rebuild that by just firing everybody off the rip. You're creating a situation where you've got a blank slate where you didn't necessarily need to have one. And I hope that is how to say this? I hope that doesn't create some sort of a fissure in any front office situation. I just don't see the need to fire everybody, but that's just me.
It's not. I don't think this is about firing everybody. They fired Joey and Jesse because of everything that we already talked about.
But they also said they fired a bunch of the scouting staff down to video people.
Yeah, because they basically the people that Mark Walter and his team, which is now Farhan, Zaidi, and Andrew Friedman, are coming and saying you guys aren't doing the right job. We need to find people that are going to do the right type of work. Hold on,
it's the middle of the season.
Yeah, they're not. They're firing them because they're starting to move things around. The reason that Andrew Friedman and Farhan Zaidi are coming in is not to run everything. It's to say what we're going to do is go up to the top, look at think of them as consultants.
Right. No.
So hold on.
We're talking about two different things. My point is that if you fire a bunch of scouting people in the middle of the season, something went wrong.
Can I talk? It's my show.
No doubt about it.
This is not his. It's not mine.
Something went wrong, and that's the most intriguing part about this. The strategy and philosophy is a given. We're agreeing on that. But I'm saying on November 20th to do that's weird. On the surface in itself. That's all I'm getting.
I mean, Joey and Jesse have already come out and been saying they've been treated like villains since they got there. But there's a whole bunch of reasons why all of those that I don't have enough information on, that Momo will have more information on, so it's speculation on everybody's part. But the fact of the matter is, and the point of this whole story, is that Andrew Friedman, as a consultant, and Farhan Zaidi can go up there and say, okay, let's look at what everybody does here, find the right people. Are you doing a good job, Rob Pelinka? Great, you're doing a good job. You can stay. Are you doing a good job? Let's just put Rambis in that situation, like a Kurt. Maybe not. Now you move out. They're going to find the right people and the wrong people, move them out, and bring the right people in.
We agree with all that.
They are doing the right
We agree
thing
with all
by
that.
doing
but
this.
what good reason would you come up with if you had to answer that question?
I have
Scott,
your answer.
What's a good reason to fire somebody 3 weeks into the season or whatever it is?
Here's my answer. My answer is that the team is built. And we don't need the Bus brothers in here anymore. We don't like the fact that they were the ones that voted against the sale, so we're already holding that against them. But the fact of the matter is, they don't really play a big role, or so it seems, in what the Lakers on the floor are this year. So my thought would be,
We just got through talking about how one of the things that the Lakers need to do is to retool literally 2 days ago around Luka, LeBron, and AR. So
for me, to answer your question, at least from the perspective that I have, is I don't think you guys are the right guys to help us do that. And so going forward, this goes right back to our conversation just the other day, Clinton. Yeah. If like, for example, I say I'm the Luka long game guy. That's my philosophy. I want to play the longer game with Luka. Guess what? Luka's signed. You guys aren't. You guys leave. We'll start to retool the front office because we're playing the next 5-year game. We're not playing the next 6-month game. So guess what? You guys don't have value anymore.
I'm not even talking about the Bus brothers, though. I think more specifically is that if you've got staff of people and their everyday job is to do whatever they're doing, like the Bus brothers are one thing, but if that adds up to 10 people? Let's just say, just use a round number. That seems like a strange move pre-Thanksgiving. That's all. I mean, I'm not saying it's the wrong move. It's just something went down, and I would like to know what.
So if Joey or Jesse,
I'm with you. I would like to know what too. Come on, Joey.
Joey's running the scouting or G League. I don't know which one's which in that situation, but one of them is running scouting. One of them is running G League. If the scouting department is the video and all the people that just got fired, you're going to fire the guy and all of the people that are loyal to the Bus family in that and him at that point. Right. All of those people all go out together.
Okay, so you're saying it's a loyalty play, not a basketball play. It can't be both.
It's not a basketball play.
No, it's not a basketball
play.
Yeah,
it's not a basketball play.
That's what I'm getting at.
But also see why you have to understand as well that the sale just became official like a week or two ago. We knew this has all been
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So it doesn't happen on the day of. this is now the starting point.
Only Laker fans can spin a firing of the entire front office in mid-season as
It's
a good
not the
thing.
entire front office.
I mean, or whatever. I mean, I just
It was
all,
two guys
all
in
I'm
the front
saying
office.
is, well, it's more than that. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
it's
the
a
front
staff.
office. The front office is not the people at the bottom. The front office is the guys.
This is
at the
all
top.
front office, in my opinion, is what I'm getting at. That's what I'm
but
saying.
I kind of think Bergie's right in this way, Clinton, that if you're going to fire these two Bus brothers, but you have all these like underlinks, if you will, that are,
Staff.
I'll call them, quote unquote, loyal to the Bus brothers, the guys who have been their bosses for all this period of time. And all of a sudden, these guys are whacked. Now, all of a sudden, you can create an environment in an organization where it's like everybody's on edge. Nobody knows what's going on. Everybody's like, oh, my God, I can't believe they got rid of those guys. They were part of the real, history of the organization. So I just feel like it could create like a toxic environment that you're leaving people hanging on, not knowing what their future is. So I don't. Although you do bring up an interesting point, which is it's the week before Thanksgiving.
Right.
Like
That's
they could have,
all this is about.
They
Like-
could have waited until Monday after
It
Thanksgiving.
was just like that's what I'm saying. It was midweek, like in between a back-to-back with the Jazz. Like the rationales are all fine. I mean, that's all
Back-to-back,
sensible.
Like 5 days in between.
That's what I'm saying. That's what's so funny
It's
about
like,
it.
it's like breaking up with a girlfriend. You're like, oh, I can't do it right now because
Yes.
it's right around.
This
her
is
birthday.
hilarious. This
Yeah.
is the funny part, is what I'm
Right.
saying.
Just
and
get
that's
it
what
done.
That's
Make
what I'm
it
just
happen.
like, yo,
Laker
like,
fans
you know
want
what a
this
great time
finished.
to do this is? Oh, we got to wait for LeBron to come back. That's when we got to do this.
All I know
That's
is-
when this has to happen.
Cappy, as a Laker fan, I'm ecstatic to hear that Friedman and Zaidi are in this front office and they're going to do some wholesale changes. This
Well,
is
What if
amazing.
LeBron said the Bus brothers got to go? He said, "Do you see my double-double on Tuesday?" He said,
I
"Were
don't
you
think
there?"
his double against
He said,
Utah is going to be the
"You
reason.
see me with those two threes? Get the Bus brothers out of here right now."
Or how about this? How about maybe this is an indication to LeBron, just as an example.
Oh,
Hey, how about this?
heads can roll.
Hey, exactly right. We can whack the Bus brothers, and you know what? Let's see what you do for us this year. And by the way, if we don't win a championship, we may not want to bring back a 41-year-old player at $50+ million. So good luck. Go out there, play your ass off. Andrew, while LeBron is still on the team, go in there and do like a full analysis of the organization, and then we're going to figure out what we want to do. But what if this is a move that says, hey, LeBron, guess what? There's a new sheriff in town, and his
Yeah.
name is Reggie Hammond.
And you can send Bronny back down to South Bay while you're at it. How about that?
no, you
already
can't
there.
do that.
That's what I'm saying. They sent him down that day. That was the same day. That was-
Cappy, did you just propose telling him, hey, man, to LeBron?
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
I love the
Hey,
idea.
LeBron, man.
The Palace intrigue is as interesting as it's ever been.
Oh,
for
good
the
use
Lakers.
of Palace intrigue. I
Yeah.
use it a lot, and people don't know what I'm talking about.
Really?
I actually use
these
it with.
the Mongrels.
I actually,
Yeah.
no. I used it with Tommy Lamb the other day about Palace intrigue,
Palace intrigue is the whole fun.
and he would kind of just looked at me, and then I explained Palace intrigue.
What did you say when you explained it?
I'll tell you in a second. 9:36 on a high.